I worked yesterday. Only had a half-hour break. I worked 9 hours yesterday. Had a half-hour break. Got off of work 10 minutes early so I can come pick up my U-Haul so I can go empty out my old house. I've been up all night. I had to take 3 U-Haul trips after I thought I was only going to take 1 trip. I got here at 6 o'clock, and I don't even know what time it is right now, but the U-Haul is stuck on my Jeep. I hurt my thumb. My whole entire body is screaming. I've just been trying to get it done because I have no options right now. I'm stuck here at U-Haul. I called U-Haul. They're like, you have to wait until somebody gets there at 9 a.m. I said, I have to sit here until 9 a.m. until somebody can come help me? She said, yes, unfortunately, that's true. I was just like, I have to be at work at 10 o'clock. What am I supposed to do? If I call off work, I'm most likely going to lose my job. So I'm like, okay, I can make it work with 2 hours. I can make it work with an hour and 45 minutes. Now I'm stuck here until 9 o'clock until somebody can come help me. I've texted all my friends. I've called my brother. I've called David. I've called my ex. My ex is screaming at me. He's like, what are you doing wrong? He's like, you just have to pull the lever and you just have to lift up. It's really heavy. I know what I'm doing. I was just here 2 days ago. My thumb really hurts. I'm exhausted. And all night has been problem after problem, but I kept pushing. I literally got back to my house and unloaded the U-Haul at 5 o'clock this morning. And now I have to call my boss and say I can't make it to work today because my U-Haul is stuck on my Jeep and I can't move. And then he's going to be like, I knew this time was going to come. I've been pushing myself so hard because I have no options. I have no help. I did all of this by myself and now I'm stuck here. And now I lose my job. And then I'm going to... I'm so tired.
Okay, I guess that's the end of that video. All right, let us find out, fam. Where did she go wrong? Now, thanks for being here. Let's see here. So she's sitting, waiting to, I guess, return her U-Haul, but she can't take the lever off or whatnot and disengage it from the truck. See, I'll tell you this, as someone who lives alone, you learn that you have to plan for everything. Not only do you need to plan ahead for everything, you need to have a plan to back up that plan because you live alone, including the time I accidentally threw away an entire set of keys. This was like 4 years ago. I mean, when I tell you the entire set of keys, if it was important to me, I threw it away. And what did I do? Did I panic? Did I sit in my car screaming like this lady is? No, because you see, I had a plan. I just got someone from the gym. It was really easy because I don't live that far from the gym. And she actually took me home. And how'd I get into my place? Because remember, all my keys are gone. Oh, you see, I have a realtor lock box. Yeah. Like, the realtor, when you go do a house showing or, whatnot, and the realtors, let themselves in, excuse me, and they have those lock boxes. Yes, I have had a realtor lockbox on every place I've ever lived. And I was able to let myself in, get the spare key to the car. Of course, then I had a house key, obviously. It was in the realtor lockbox. My friend drove me back. I think I tipped her like 20 bucks. She said no, because she was a true friend. And unfortunately, she's moved. And then I was able to get myself in and we got my car and I was good to go. See, you have to have a plan to a plan to a plan. Now, some could say that she planned okay. I think she said she gave herself like 2 hours, hour and a half. No, 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 that is not enough time. No. You see, my thinking is you need, oh, geez, half a day, maybe even the day. You are talking moving. And there tend to be a lot of complications when it comes to moving. So instead of trying to sit yourself really tight and go, okay, I have to have this vehicle dropped off by 5, then I got to be here, here, and here. And I understand that it can't always be avoided. I get that. Okay. But here's something, and I don't know if you caught this earlier. She said if she was late, she would most likely be fired. My question is why? I've had mishaps. I've woken up where the car tire, I mean, flat as a pancake. I have two different tire companies, and it's like you call them both, see which one comes first, and then you cancel the other one, right? But I mean, these are services I pay for, and it was no problem. I called in. I have an excellent work attendance. I have positive attitude. Explain right away, hey, flat car tire. I've even had emergencies that weren't for me, but I wanted to help out a neighbor. I have a neighbor, I won't say exactly where she lives, but she's a teacher here, a fellow teacher, and also a friend of mine. And she got stuck and couldn't get her kid to school, and her child goes to a exclusively Catholic school and whatnot. And so she needed help. So I was like, so she calls me up in desperation. She's like, can you help? Well, I could only be at one spot on time, my place of work or at the bus stop where she needed to go to because it was not in walking distance. So I'm looking at her temper. Yes, I'm not talking about attitude. There's attitude and then there's temper. And while they do kind of go together, sometimes we have to separate them. Look at this temper, not a woman who deals well with stress. She says she has an ex. And if I'm correct, I believe she's also I think, I can't remember if she said anything about a kid. I think she did. I think this is a single mom here. I think I could be wrong. Okay. But she says she has an ex. You wonder why he's the ex? No, I'm not saying, I have, I've had exes clearly. Okay. I'm divorced. So it doesn't mean I have a temper like that. Far from it, in fact. But when I do see tempers like that, I think, okay, I can see why he probably said, no, I don't really wish to be with you any longer. I can understand that. In fact, I'll share something with you, fam. I'm totally opposite. I'm upset when I get really, really quiet because I'm usually chatty and all of that stuff. It's when I get really quiet, it's when I have nothing to say. That's when I'm really upset. And the more quiet I get, the more upset I get. So I go in total opposite. I don't do this temper, baloney. I don't do that sitting, with the way she looks. She says, that if she's late, like I say, she's going to lose her job. So my question is, what has she done on the job previously? How has she been? How many times has she been late? How many times has she been written up? Because here's the bottom line. If you are a valued employee and you have, been very respectful to your bosses, your managers, you get along with your coworkers, I don't understand, even if you had to totally call out for the day or half a day, why that would get you fired. So something tells me what we see on the screen here transfers a little bit over to her workplace. I'm not saying for sure, but it would not surprise me because I've never really heard it unless you're brand new on the job and this is your first week and you still can't get to work on time. And even then, if they really, really liked you and you could, perhaps come up with a good excuse, they might even still let you stay. But short of being totally brand new where you are not yet established, I don't see why you would be fired. This is not an attractive look, and I don't think one should go on social media and scream into the camera. Guys, those of you that do this, do you understand that this hurts future job opportunities? And I'm probably preaching to the choir here because if you're watching this channel, you're probably not one of those people who do this sorts of things. So you're probably thinking, yeah, Carrie, we're preaching to the choir. I understand, but on that odd chance that somebody else may be watching it, I see so many videos, and you guys only see a portion of what I see and then select to put on this channel of people killing not literally, but killing their job opportunities. Because if I saw this, why do I want to hire you? And again, I know we got people who I don't care. I have the right to show my emotions. Yes, but if you're afraid that you're going to be fired, this probably isn't the emotion you want to show. All right, the next video we're going to see is actually out of, I believe it's London. I usually don't play videos out of the United States unless I believe it has some crossover or relevance. But in this particular case, we're going to look at a video of a mother who has a whole lot of kids, and I think there's some crossover in the entitlement factor. Here we go.
How long have you been without a home?
21.
Oh, caption says 21 years in temporary accommodation with 11 kids and no education.
1 years. So I've moved over 45 times in 21 years. This is bed and breakfast. This is temporary accommodation, hotels, and I've never been offered not one permanent accommodation. Never.
She feels as though she should be offered a permanent place to live because she keeps breeding children. I guess I could use the nicer word and say she keeps giving birth to children, and she feels that, hey, I've got all these kids I very responsibly have given birth to. Why have you not offered me a permanent place to live? Because that's what I'm owed. That's what I'm entitled to.
Which I think is quite disgusting.
Margaret has 11 children. For the last 5 weeks, most of her family have been in this hotel, but today they've been told to move out.
We have to take our belongings out of this room and put them on the street. But because there's a newborn baby, we can't stand on the street.
Do you know where you're going to sleep tonight?
No, I don't. I don't know where I'm going to sleep. We're just picking up from one place to another. My children have never had no education.
Right. Whose fault is that, mom, who has a newborn baby? This is when you call it breeding. I hate to say it. No offense to the children, however.
They've never been able to sit an exam. I've got some talented children, and yet we can't find nowhere to have a stable life. It's unfair.
There is nobody available to take your call right now. Please call back at a later time.
So she believes that she is entitled to give birth to all the children she wants. And for those who can't see her, she's pretty scruffy looking. I'm trying to figure out where and how does she breed all these kids? I mean, you're in a room with all these children. Where is she going? But you see, no self-accountability, no responsibility. She sees it as her right to have as many kids as she wants. She says they're talented, and she says the system is not coming through for her. Where have we heard this sort of thinking?